Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, November 12th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how to use them to make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Real quick before I get started, I do want to note and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm actually offering tonight, depending on when you watch this. So I realize if you're watching this Friday morning, then you've already missed it. But on that note, if you've already missed it because you're watching this on Friday, it will be recorded. So drop me an email, clay@claytrader.com, and I'd be happy to send you a recording of it. And then also, if maybe I understand you're watching this right now and you already have something on your schedule, it's too last minute, then still drop me an email. And like I said, when the recording is over and the event's over, then I'll get it uploaded, and after all that's done, I'd be happy to email it to you. So if you do want to learn more about charts and how they can be used to build consistency as a trader, like I said, either get signed up, or if you're not able to make it or you missed it, just drop me an email. A couple of quick notes before I get into it. First off, I will be using the 30-minute time frame for all these. And if you're new to charts, what does that mean? That just means that each one of these candlesticks here, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. And then second, the market is still going to be open for a little bit. So you're not crazy. You're not seeing things. That candle on the charts will still be moving because, again, the market's still open for a little bit. But I like to do that because, sometimes we can capture some really interesting breakout movement or just, price action in general. But as far as, the overall levels are concerned, the market's close enough to being closed where I feel confident talking about these areas. So right here, NUZE is the first stock here. And you can see basically nothing going on, and then kaboom, today the volume came pouring in and have a very nice pattern here headed into Friday. So the first part of the pattern, and a level that stands out to me from a pullback point and more of a support area right down there around $4.50. So if you like to play pullbacks, no such thing as a guarantee, but by no means is that area down around 450 some sort of random area. So if the price goes on there, I don't think anybody would be shocked to see the price find some support and then potentially turn back around, especially when you look at just from a volume analysis standpoint during this pullback via the yellow arrow there. Look, yellow arrow down here at volume has also pulled back. So just a classic lower volume pullback there, and that's what you want to see. So keep an eye on the 450 mark. If you like to play more so breakouts, then the main area to watch from a breakout standpoint going to be right there, I think, around that resistance trend line at that area. And then just from an overall pattern perspective, so we have our resistance there, we have our support there, we have the big momentum move right there, and we'll put the golf hole down there to make this a little bit more visual for you golfers out there, but this would be known as a bull pennant pattern. But all in all, nice movement today. Let's see how it closes out the week on Friday. Next one, EVGO, which I did a few days ago, and that's where the red and green line annotations are coming from. But these levels are no longer really relevant anymore, so I'll go ahead and get rid of them so we don't have, cause clutter and confusion because there's lines everywhere you look. But the big dynamic that happened today, and this is just, I realize all past history, but to set up a little context, you had that resistance trend line right there. But overall, it got the break right there. So in other words, the breakout is underway, which just brings it into the overall question of, okay, breakout underway, but is this breakout just getting started? Is there a lot more momentum to come? And that's where Friday gets very, very interesting. And that's really just a question of, what's your idea? What's your thoughts on whether or not this is really just the start of a bigger breakout, or maybe it needs to pull back and consolidate a little bit. And if it does, then this becomes a very interesting level. And this is just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, they tend to act as support. So if you do like to play pullbacks, and it's totally valid to think that if the price were to drop down to that area, could find some support and then continue on up. So that's one potential area to watch from a support standpoint. But then from the overarching view, just watch that purple line there, which on my chart denotes the very well known, the very famous 50-period moving average. And as the name implies, a moving average. So that line is going to move itself higher and higher as time goes by. So from more of a broader point of view, the easiest way to look at this is that as long as the price stays above that purple line, as the line itself moves higher and higher, then the bulls are in full control of the current move. And then as far as areas of resistance, nothing fancy or complicated here. Literally just a question of, okay, well, where did the momentum and party finally stop today? And that was up there at 1960, so that'll be the main battleground moving forward. But all in all, great breakout today. Next one here, AMC. And overall, the day was fine. And I hesitate as I say that because it definitely could have been better. Let's be fair, though. It started off really bad. Gap down, price dropped all the way there, and then a very, very impressive bounce. Problem is the bounce seems to kind of be fading right now. However, to be fair, it's gotten up above that pink line, the 200-period moving average, which was a very critical move today, and it is still nicely up above it. So like I said, it's not like it was a bad day, but it would just been, in my mind at least, better had the price been able to at least go sideways up around this area as opposed to pulling back here. But let me be very clear. Just because it's pulled back a little here does not mean that everything's ruined. Not at all. Like I said, just kind of nitpicking in the sense of, it would have looked better had the price stayed up here around the $40 mark. but by no means does this pullback destroy anything. Now, if the pullback comes down here and breaks down below that pink line there at 38.35, then yeah, that's a different story, but that hasn't happened yet. And if the price does break through there, then as I talked about in past videos, there is still another area of support down there at 37.15. But as of right now, price is nicely above both those areas of support. From the resistance side of things, nothing here has changed, assuming you've watched past videos. I've talked about that purple line in the past as a resistance, again, that being the 50-period moving average. And with the price still down below it, that would still be considered that main area of resistance. But overall, like I said, a nice day. Maybe could have been a little bit better, but overall, good solid move, and let's see how it closes out the week on Friday. Next one, LCID, which had a very nice move today, and that's just, represented by, and this again will mean more to those of you that watch the previous videos, but I talked about that $42 area as resistance, but you can see today on the gap up, price came up here, got the break, and then never really looked back. So got the break through there, which is going to prompt me to just go ahead and get rid of these lines down there, and then make that first key update, which just formed on the foundational rule, and levels of resistance are broken and closed above. You want to see them act as support. So now moving forward, $42 is what I would call the ideal level, meaning for Ask Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute best moving forward? Definitely if the price can stay above 42. So you're going to want to keep a close eye on that. And then as far as areas of resistance are concerned, let me get this out of the way. This area right here at 45.85, going to be a very stubborn level. You can see there's actually a big track record right there. Several times what was, just knocked the price down. When the price did break above it, made a nice move. Unfortunately, it dropped right back below it. And then you look at today, and once again, that level's being stubborn again. So in the very near term, 45.85. But if the price can get a good high volume break of there, then, no guarantees, but you got to like the chances that it at least gets up to 48. Who knows, maybe even higher, but one step at a time. Let's see if the price can get back above that initial red line. Next one here, ticker symbol RIVN, the big IPO from Wednesday. And today, what a great move. Things were looking a little bit, sketchy, given that the price just completely dropped back down after the IPO. But today made a nice move, back to the upside. In fact, the resistances that I drew in on Wednesday's videos, both there and there, were broken very convincingly. So first I'm going to do some house cleaning, just get rid of all these lines there. Again, sure, they still do pertain to the chart. They're just not really relevant right now. And like I said from earlier on, I don't want to risk causing confusion because there's lines and clutter everywhere. So let's try to keep this as clean as possible. But really moving forward, two very, very well-defined levels. And I emphasize that because when areas are very well-defined and people around the world are watching those levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can produce some very dynamic movements. And the first level that a lot of people are going to be watching is that support level. So you're going to have long, shorts, and everybody in between watching 115, and rightfully so. You can see 3 candles in a row right there. Price tried to push down through it, but it completely failed, and the bulls held strong. And eventually, as you can see here, has bounced the price back upwards, which now brings about the level that every breakout player and their brother's uncle is going to be watching. And that sits right up here at the 125 mark. Just like this area down here at 115, you can see several times the breakout tried to occur and just couldn't quite happen. I was hoping maybe we could capture some sort of breakout live here as I do the video, but as of right now, the price is just down around the 123 mark. So I suppose it could get up there over in the next few minutes and do it, but as far as this video is concerned, looking like not going to be able to capture that on actual video. But who knows, if you're somehow watching this and the price is now up above 125, well, just know that the key breakout has occurred. But as of now, that's going to definitely be the main level that I think a lot of people will be watching. Next one here, ticker symbol WISH. Done this one several times. And like the one we just talked about with RIVN, some very well-defined levels. In this situation, the main breakout area, which sits right there at $5.70. Again, I assure you, a whole lot of people have noticed that, so I'm not trying to come across like this is a great discovery or that I have some sort of special skill. A lot of people have noticed that, so as I mentioned, self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It's plausible, it's logical to think that if the price comes up to that area and can get the break up through it, that break right there in and of itself could create quite a bit of upwards buying pressure because you have breakout players saying, hey, I'm a breakout player. Hey, that stock's breaking out. Hey, I'm supposed to be buying, and they'll buy for no other reason. So 570, definitely a very interesting level. And also, it just kind of represents potentially a turnaround of this current consolidation. And then as far as levels of support are concerned, main level, in my opinion, to watch is going to be all about that pink line down there, the 200-period moving average right now valued at 525. So overall, very interesting day. Got the big surge upwards. Now it's pulled back. So to be fair, though, maybe this is just a temporary pullback. You have yourself a little bull flag pattern there. But like I said, I think the main dynamic here that everybody's wondering about is, can the price get up to 570 and then can it break above it? Let's see what happens. Next one here, SNDL, and I didn't arrange it like this on purpose, but I mean, we have yet another one where a very well-defined level, and in this situation, every breakout player and their brother's uncle on SNDL is going to be watching 73 cents. I know I've talked about that level in the past, but just to give context there, I guess I didn't need to go back that far. There we go. But you can see right here, from a couple of days ago, that's where the party stopped, got rejected. To be fair, though, today, very, very impressive turnaround all the way back up. And yeah, you guessed it. It stopped once again at 73. Now, that doesn't mean that 73 cents can ever be broken or anything like that. All I'm saying is that it makes sense why 73 once again rejected the price. And that moving forward, that is certainly going to be public enemy number one. But if the price can push up through there, you got to like the odds that at minimum gets up to 75 cents, which is the value of this overall resistance right here. So let me extend that line now over a little bit. And you can see this is coming from, several weeks ago back there in October. But like I said, as has been the theme over the past couple of charts we've looked at, you got almost like the self-fulfilling prophecy area right there at 73 cents. So can the price break above it? A lot of eyeballs are certainly going to be watching it. Next one, RIDE. Really like the pattern on this one, and that is, the main reason why it's on the watch list. So the pattern, let's get it mapped out here. Bottom of it, right down there, support, $6.70. So you know the routine by now. If you're some sort of pullback player, then that could be an interesting level for you to watch. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, actually, let me make sure that I'm not missing anything here. Nope. All right. Nothing that I didn't think I was missing anything. But as far as areas of resistance are concerned, going to have this area right here around, let's just call it the $7 mark. And then to once again just draw in the pattern here to keep everything in the same color, we have resistance, we have support, we have the momentum move. And right there, you could debate it. Doesn't really matter. Not really. You could call this a bull flag. You could call this a bull pennant. But the overall idea here and, the story that's being told is that there is the big surge of momentum here. Now it's taking a little breath. But the question becomes, okay, is this a healthy breath where things are about to move upwards? No guarantees, but given it is a bullish pattern, it is completely plausible to think that way. So if you like to play these sorts of patterns and like to play this sort of price range, well, here you go. I'd say this one belongs on the watch list. Next one here, FCEL, and a very nice move today. And, what was going on over the past couple of days on this one, and you can draw this a couple of ways. You could draw a trend line like that. You could draw just a horizontal resistance like that. And however you decide to draw it, the point here is that the price made a great move and then had a pretty nasty pullback there and then just started to chop back and forth. But what's significant is, the chop seems to be over as the price during that, portion of time was able to break above both of those areas. Now it just becomes a question of, okay, all this chop, has been cleared behind, but has it truly been cleared behind? And the easy way to answer that is, well, let's just see if the price, it doesn't necessarily have to skyrocket, but you don't want to see the price now dropping back below, the 1075 mark, because that would put the price, right back inside of the chop down here. And not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that are the start of something bigger, well, it's not going to go back to where it was, right? So that's where that 1075 area, in my mind makes a lot of sense. But if this is the start of something bigger, then the next key battleground to watch very closely is going to be that resistance trend line right there. Let's just call it right up around the $11.60 mark. That'll be the next key battleground to watch closely. But all in all, gotta like the movement today. Gotta like the fact that it did clear out of the chop zone. But now let's see if the price can avoid going back into the chop zone, and then better yet, getting up there above 1160. Next one here, SOFI, and I like this one just because the afternoon has been very, very ugly, but for you longtime viewers, you know what I'm about to say next. But there can be opportunity in ugly, so there's no doubt about it. This session right here, basically all afternoon long, has been a slow and steady bleed downwards. However, when you actually take a step back and look at things from the bigger picture point of view, I mean, the chart really hasn't done anything wrong. It's still up above both of the main moving averages, the 50-period moving average, the 200-period moving average. I mean, it's got plenty of other areas of support below it. So if you are somebody that likes to play pullbacks and kind of buy when others are screaming, oh, this chart is ugly, it's game over. And, in many situations, those are the times to be buying. Now, there's no guarantees, right? So this is why risk management and all of that is very, very important. But is it at least rational to think that, there could be some buying opportunities here if this thing pulls back a bit more, gets a little bit more ugly? Yeah, I think absolutely. Right there around $22 is, in my mind, a valid level. And then if you want to see more of a pullback, potentially right there around the 2150 mark. So keep an eye on that. Who knows? Maybe you're looking at this and you disagree and say, well, Clay, what are you talking about? I think this thing has pulled back enough already. I'm ready to start to, buy the dip right there. Hey, I can see what you're saying there. I'm just saying that, if you do want to see it get down towards more a little bit, I think maybe solid areas of support, that would be an area, to look at down there. But like I said, to be fair, who knows? Maybe this was pulled back enough and it's ready to turn back around. On that topic of turning around, main area of resistance is going to be that resistance area right there. So in all actuality, again, we'll end on a pattern here, but we have the resistance there. We have this support right there. We have the big momentum move right there. So have ourselves a nice bull flag pattern, even with the pullback. So I get it. This can feel really ugly, but that is just, like I said, a couple hours worth of action. When you look at things from the broader sense, you can see that there is still plenty of bullish things going on. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, I want to personally invite you to get signed up for the class that I'm offering this evening. If you want to learn more about this tool of technical analysis, how it can be used, how it should not be used, how it ultimately can lead you to help build consistency as a trader, then definitely get signed up. But again, if it's too last minute, or if you're watching this on Friday morning and it's already happened, well, like I said earlier, it will be recorded. And after that's all done, I'd be happy to email it to you. So just drop me an email, clay@claytrader.com. And like I said, I will send you a recording of it. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, if you would like for me to continue to make these videos, then please let me know by doing two easy things. Hit that like button, leave a basic comment. It could be saying hi. It could be a number. It could be a smiley face, a ticker symbol that you traded today. But hitting the like button, leaving a basic comment below communicates to me that you enjoy these videos. And as long as I know people are enjoying them, then I have no problem at all continuing to put in the time and effort to make them. So again, get signed up for the class if you want to learn more about charts. Hopefully I'll see you in this evening. Everybody take care. Have a good one.